Hello and welcome to our virtual open house. Today we are going to be talking to you about our Employment First workforce programs at Ablr. My name is Liv. I'm the program coordinator for workforce development here at Ablr, and we're so excited to be here today with you to talk to you about these program opportunities.
Hi everyone, my name is Logan Passy and I'm the job developer here with Ablr.
Hi, my name is John Samuel and I am the co-founder and CEO of Ablr. At Ablr, our mission is very simple. It's to remove the barriers for people with disabilities in all aspects of life. And we're doing that in three ways. First, we're eliminating the digital divide through our digital accessibility services. Then we're changing the mindsets of people and organizations through our disability inclusion training. And then we are creating pathways for employment through our workforce development programs, which we're going to be talking about today.
The goal of our workforce development programs are to create meaningful employment for people with disabilities, and specifically those with blindness and low vision. And there are three things that really differentiate the Ablr Workforce Development Program from other programs of its kind. We really believe in a holistic approach to our training and our workforce development program. The first thing that is a key aspect of the Ablr Workforce Development Program is that candidates can expect to develop their technical skills. Today, it's all about how well you can navigate on the computer. We can't do any job just from our phone. We can't do any job without technology. It's just the reality of our modern workforce. And so it is essential that folks are able to use their technology at the speed of work, and we will consistently be practicing those technical skills throughout the program. The second thing that is extremely important is building networking connections with experts. And this is not only about candidates being exposed to professionals in the workforce, but professionals in the workforce being exposed to our candidates, recognizing the talent that's out there and understanding what people can contribute when they're given an opportunity. The final thing is that we want to equip folks with real-world experience. We don't just train for the sake of training. We train for employment at Ablr, and that means getting your hands on the technology, getting those hours and those reps in the workforce, and really understanding what it means to be a contributing member of that workforce. We believe that when we put these things together, it leads to higher employment attainment, retention, and promotion.
No, you're exactly right, Liv. And the one question that we get the most is, does this program actually work? Are people getting jobs? And what we're really excited to show is that 57% of our candidates who are entering the job market are finding employment within the first 90 days, which is incredible. But the other stat, really kind of flips the unemployment number on its head, is that our program has a 76% total hire rate, meaning 76% of our candidates who have gone through the program, who are looking for work, are finding it. 100% of our candidates have interviewed and have been through the interview process and are still applying. So we expect that number to go up. This shows that we are an employment-first organization. We don't train for the sake of training, which goes over kind of the program highlights that we're going to be discussing today. We go to employment first. This is a program for you to find a job. We are here to do everything possible to help you, but you have to be able to have that hunger to go in and obtain it. We do this by offering a fully remote training. We know that transportation is the biggest barrier for the members of the blind and low vision community. And we combat that by doing a fully virtual program that is designed for you. And we individualize that path. We don't offer cookie cutter services. So we will work with you individually to create your own goals, your own outcomes, designed for you to be successful. We understand that you are different. You have your own goals, your own aspirations, and we want you to hit those. And that is how we work on creating accountability. If we don't have accountability, then we're not going to be able to see success. So we hold you accountable, but we expect you to hold us accountable. Is every member of Ablr doing their job to set you up for success? If so, we hold you accountable to be able to hold that as well. So parts of the program and what we're going to dive into are there four main stages. We have the assess stage, the elevate stage, the experience stage, and then finally work. Liv, if you want to talk about the assess stage.
Absolutely. Something that is so important about this first portion of our program is that we want to understand each individual candidate so that we can put them on that individualized path that you mentioned. And so we really believe in a holistic review process. This means that there is not just one aspect of a candidate that we're considering when we are building their path, when we are assessing their abilities and talents and skills for the program. We are considering the whole person. That means their professional and personal qualities, their technical skills, the input from their vocational rehabilitation counselor, and their application to the program. All of those things come together to create the full picture of who a candidate is, what their goals are, and how we can help them get there. And so it's so important to know that when we're looking at program prerequisites, we don't have particular numbers or cutoffs that we are looking for. Rather, we have a set of functional prerequisites. So things that we look for folks to be able to do and characteristics that we want them to have before coming into the program. The first thing that is the most important aspect, the most important characteristic that someone can have coming into the Ablr program is commitment to post-program employment. Logan has already talked about that hunger for employment that's so necessary in a candidate. And something that we like to say is that we cannot want a job for you more than you want a job for yourself. That is so very important to have that individual drive towards getting to something or getting to that career mobility, right? Finding that next opportunity that really has to be self-driven. We can be a resource to help you to get there, but we are not going to hand anyone a job out of this program. It is so important not only that you have that feeling of accomplishment, but that you feel that you've really earned an opportunity. The second thing that we're really looking for is professionalism and coachability. Being able to take critical feedback and apply it in the next setting and ensure that you're continuously improving and seeking that opportunity to better yourself is something that's so important for our program. Now, you might ask, what technical skills do I need in order to enter this program? And we say that, the set of technical skills in order to be considered for the program are pretty simple. You have to be able to type on a keyboard. You have to be able to utilize email, including attaching and receiving documents, downloading them, returning them to others. You need to be able to join a video conference call, regardless of what that application is, right? That might be Zoom, might be Teams. We want to see your ability to join that meeting and be able to participate in that meeting because this is a fully virtual program and that will be expected of you throughout. Now, if you can do these things, then we can work with you to get that assessment completed and make recommendations for your next steps, whether that is with Ablr and our continued program, or maybe recommendations to get some outside training before rejoining us for continual opportunities. Of course, we need an as-needed use of assistive technology. If you are an assistive technology user, we want to see your competence in utilizing that on your personal device. That could mean that you are a screen reader user, you are a magnification user, perhaps you don't use any assistive technology. All of that is fine, but we want to see what you use and how you use it as needed. And then finally, we need to see an independent completion of the program application. We want to ensure that you show us that you are able to think through those answers, provide thoroughness and thoughtfulness in those answers, format your document properly, and follow the instructions to return that application to us.
One thing that's also really important is the soft skills development. And I've had candidates come in and they talk to me, well, I have all these skill sets. Look at all of the skills I have on my resume, coding languages, experience, but I'm not moving forward in the interview process. And the key to that is soft skills. When a company's interviewing you and you're meeting with a hiring manager or you're meeting with HR, they want to hire you for you. They want to hire Liv because of who Liv is, because of who John is, because of who I am. Sure, your experiences teach how you can do the job, but soft skills are so important. And as we go through the soft skills, we actually offer soft skills development. So we pair you up with a mentor, someone who's actually working in the field that you're looking to go into now. And they can tell you about how to handle meetings, email etiquette, how to network. We also have a career readiness section where you can go in and to learn things like AI, multitasking, how to take good notes. This is critical for you to be able to utilize your skills that you're learning in our program or you've learned before our program in the actual work environment. And then we bring in guest speakers. We have guest speakers that are leaders of Fortune 100 companies. who have hired thousands of people that come in and tell you exactly what is needed to be able to obtain that first job. And those soft skills are so important for you to be able to combine those with the technical skills that we are training.
The last type of training that we offer are career-specific pathways. In our career-specific pathways, we train folks in the technical skills and the knowledge base that is sufficient for sitting for a nationally or internationally recognized certification. This is not just a certificate saying that you completed the Ablr program. This is a certification that is going to be recognized on your resume by employers no matter where you're applying. That is so important for resume building and showing that you have taken accountability in that program to get to the knowledge base necessary to pass that certification exam. We offer those pathways as a way to elevate technical skills. John, would you care to tell us about the internship in our experience phase?
Of course. It's one thing to actually learn the technical skills. It's one thing to earn a certificate, but it's another to actually put it into action. And that's what we're doing with the internship. With our paid internship, it can last up to 24 weeks long, and it's around 20 hours a week. What we're trying to do is put what you've learned in the classroom and put it into the real world work experience. And we know that a lot of our candidates may have a gap in their resume or may not even have any work experience at all. This gives them an opportunity to really get some real tangible experience to put on their resume and also bring that experience when they're going to interviews. Because we know that when individuals have an internship on their resume, they're more likely to get hired. And again, we've talked about this multiple times already during this talk, is that we're not training for the sake of training. We are training for employment. This is where it comes, the tires hit the rubber, or rubber hits the road.
Rubber hits the road, that's right.
That's what we're doing here. We're putting it into action. And so this is where individuals are also going to learn about professionalism, what it means to show up every day into the work, in the work environment. What do you need to do to be reliable, accountable, all of these intangible skills that are required to be successful in the workplace. And we put that all together in that internship. We offer the internships internally, depending on what career track you're on, or we identify potential partners and business partners who are looking for interns to help develop the skills that they're looking for on their own team, but also which can be used. Even if you don't get a job with that employer afterwards, you can take those transferable skills to another company, and it really is something that really fleshes out and I think really builds out and makes our program really unique compared to a lot of other organizations.
Absolutely. And you can use those references as you prepare to enter in our last stage, which is our work stage. And after you complete that internship, this is where we talk about you got the experience, you were trained, you worked. Let's find you a job. Let's find you some opportunities to be successful, because that is the whole goal. We are here to help you.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're here, right? And so the idea is we're going to help you every step of the way during that internship. For external partners, I'm going to be working with external partners to see about how we can get that converted into a full-time or contracting position. Now, if that doesn't work, like John mentioned, we will use those skill sets and gain the valuable resources and references to be able to apply that experience into the job market. And we stay with you for up to 12 months. That is another thing that John mentioned about our program being unique, is that we don't just say, okay, you finished the program, you graduated, goodbye, we'll see ya. I'll like a couple of your posts on LinkedIn every now and then. Is that we will go in and we're actually here to help you. And for 12 months, we will meet, often weekly. And I have office hours every single day. Our job developers meet and do office hours. We will be here to help you through sighted support on your applications, to interview prep, to going in and negotiating a job offer. And for your first 90 days, once you get a job, we will be there to make sure that you are advocating for yourself, getting the accommodations you need. Because at the end of the day, the employment piece is important, but it's about retention. We want you to not only get a job, but to keep a job and to stay employed.
Yes, that's so important.
Yeah. And some of the great partners that we have that we like to share about is, we've had employees be able to work at Verizon, at Lenovo, at nonprofits such as Arts Access, global consulting firms such as Emphasis, and many more. So we're excited to see where you land in our program and how we can help you find employment.
And one of the things you're doing also is you're building up those relationships with other employers all the time, which I think is really something that we're proactively working on in the program.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, that's where the individual plan comes into play. Is that when I'm meeting with you and I'm hearing about you, I can start to identify what company could best fit this talent. And we're always looking for partners because we realize that partners have different hiring cycles, and we want to find the right employer for you. And as we continue to build our program, we're starting to see a demand of our candidates. We're seeing employers emailing me saying, when is the next internship cycle? How can we take 2 or 3 interns? And that's exciting because it creates demand for you as the candidate. You're going to be able to go in and have multiple interviews and to find a company that fits for you. One thing that John mentioned about the internship is if you have an external internship opportunity, you're not guaranteed that opportunity. You have to interview and earn that. So you have to go in and interview with these companies. And we are going to help you every step of the way. And that creates buy-in from our employer partners because they are bought into you. They know that you may request accommodations and they're okay with that. So we are helping open the door, but you have to go in and earn that spot.
Absolutely. Logan, would you mind talking about what kinds of candidates find themselves most successful when they get to this work phase of the program?
So the kind of candidates I'm finding are the ones that are really diligent in, I'm going to do everything I can to find these opportunities. Because in today's job market, it is so much, you can't just apply to a job and sit back and say, well, it's been 2 weeks, they didn't reply, they must not have wanted me. We are seeing in today's job market, a job is open for an hour or two and already has 300 applications. So the question is, how are you going to stand out from 300 people? In today's market, it's not good enough just to apply. You have to use the skills we teach in the program to start networking, to reach out on LinkedIn, to start identifying who could possibly be a hiring manager or a recruiter, and sometimes even call. We've had candidates call in the main phone line, click at the bunch of numbers, get to the HR representative and say, hey, I applied a week ago and I haven't heard back, and they've gotten an interview from that. That is what we are looking for. If you want to be successful, you're going to realize that I have to stand out. My resume isn't going to be the one thing that singles me out from the other hundreds of people applying. And that kind of diligence, that kind of hunger, that is what's really going to be successful for our candidates in our program.
Absolutely.
I think that's one of the things. Our program isn't necessarily for everyone. It's for those people who are really looking for that employment. And we hear that some people say, oh, I've applied to thousands of jobs, and I haven't gotten it. But have you taken that extra step to go and network, to build relationship with those organizations, understand those organizations? Those are the type of things that I think our program helps you to better understand the why and how organizations are looking to hire, because that's something really important. It's not just about clicking that auto submit on LinkedIn or just easy applies. That's not what this is about. It's about getting a job. And if you're ready to take that step to do whatever it takes to get that employment, we're going to be there right by your side. And we're going to help open those doors with you, right? Really with you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we know that there's a lot of candidates out there who have had that hunger, who have gone to college or have gone to a trade school or have gone certified through another program. So they may be listening in saying, well, I've already been certified. I'm already passionate about something. I'm just lacking that employment piece. I just need help getting over the hump. That is what Ablr Accelerated is all about. It's someone coming in saying, I already have the skills. I know what I want to do. I just need help with placement services. And we can come in and start with those soft skills and say, let's make sure, because we have to make sure those soft skills are in place. I have to be able to work with you to understand who you are as a person, what kind of role you're looking for. We'll get you mentors. Here are guest speakers. We'll go in and look for those internship opportunities and see what we can find. And that helps get your foot in the door and utilize the skills you've already developed. And then we stay with you for that last career support. So we call it Ablr Accelerated because that's really what it is. If you already have those certifications, you don't have to start from zero. The last thing we want is you saying, well, I have to go through the Ablr program because that's the only way I can find a job, even though I'm passionate because I already got certified. We don't want you thinking that. If you already have the degree, you already have the certification, you already have some work experience, you just need help getting back into the job market, we are here to help, and that's where we create those individualized plans. So we please encourage everyone to apply and go through that assessment stage so we can better understand how to help you.
Absolutely. So if you like what you've heard today and you want to apply for our program, let's talk about that application process. The very first step is that we want all folks to ensure that you have a vocational rehabilitation counselor in your state of permanent residence. This is what is going to allow you to participate in the Ablr Workforce Development Program, is having that support from your state VR office. The second thing is we want you to reach out to us. Please do reach out to us to request program information in a written form. Also request that program application so that you can get started on that. Once you fill out that program application following the instructions provided within the document itself, you will return it via email with your most recent resume. Please assure that your counselor, your vocational rehabilitation counselor, knows that you have applied. That will make it much easier for us to go through the next step, which is the authorization process. If your application is approved after review, we will notify you and request authorization for assessment from your vocational rehabilitation counselor. And from there, once we receive that authorization, we will schedule you to take that assessment, that holistic assessment that we will evaluate your goals, your characteristics, personal traits, and technical skills to ensure that we make the best recommendations for you to move forward with the Ablr program.
And once you finish up the internship, we move into the work section of our program. This section is where you and your job developer will be working to help you find employment. It's up to 12 months and even 3 months after you find employment. We will be with you every step of the way, from cited support on an application to negotiating your job offer. On the job developer, on my side, I'm going to be working to engage with employers. I'm going to be helping you find these employers to find employment. And together, we will help you find a job that you can stay at and grow and continue on with your career.
For more information about our program, visit abler360.com/ablrworks and fill out our contact form to receive a program application. Thank you.